Big Rab Show Podcast is kindly sponsored by G1 Reeds. They are the champion's choice, with many bands around the world playing G1 products, providing everything you'd need to hit the circle or the big stage. So, check out g1reeds.com as they keep the lights on here at the Big Rab Show Podcast.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another Big Rab Show podcast. Do you know what? I think this week's show is going to be an absolute corker. Because, we've got quite an interesting topic of the week where we're about to preview everything that's going to be happening at the end of March with the Kids with Cancer Charity Night. That's warming up. Yeah, it's getting very exciting. So we'll get into all of that, of course, in this week's topic. Plus, of course, we've got all the news and updates and opinions from all across the bagpiping world. And, there's a lot to talk about. But before we get into all of that, let's get through our introductions, though, shall we? If this is your first ever Big Rab Show podcast, well, you are welcome. We are the show for the bagpiping folk. We reflect everything in the bagpiping world, be it Celtic music, folk music, or indeed our bread and butter, which is competitive piping and drumming. Each and every week we're here talking about what we know and love to be the music of the Great Highland Bagpipe and its people. And yes, I have to give a special mention this week to our Patreon faithful. Now, the reason I'm doing so, now we plug this every week. You know, we always give a shout out to the folks over there on Patreon that click on support and are part of the Patreon faithful. Well, Patreon have been treated to something really quite special, and we've been teasing it for a little while. We haven't really talked about it much here on the show, but it's something that we're really quite excited about. It's exclusive to Patreon subscribers, so it is locked for just the Patreon faithful. Essentially what it is, it's a bit of a documentary series that ourselves here in the Big Rab Show have started. Yeah, bit of a fly on the wall kind of deal. You know, this documentary is detailing the work of the Big Rab Show team, behind the scenes, warts and all, what makes the show tick. So this was an idea that we kind of threw around for a couple of seasons, and we just never really had the time or opportunity to actually sit down and plan how we would make a documentary. Well, episode 1 of that documentary is now live and is available for all Patreon members who have been watching it, and we're getting a lot of great feedback from it, actually. A lot of people great to see, but if anything, how we struggle, how to make this show. So you get to hang out with me for a full weekend, and you get to see what it's actually like producing this show. Writing sessions, meetings, and sporadic bagpipe practice in between. So, if you're anyways curious at all as to about anything that I'm talking about our brand new fly-on-the-wall documentary series, go and check it out on Patreon. That's by way of a huge shameless plug. But shout out to our Patreon faithful. You guys are awesome! Yes, you are. And thank you for clicking on support. There is a link in your show notes right now. You can go and check it out. And if you do want to go and check it out, then click on support and be part of the Patreon faithful. There you go. Right. With every Big Rab show, we always open the door to listener mail. And this week's no different. I have to say, following last week's episode, where we were talking all about piping and drumming in South Africa, we got a whole bunch of questions from folks out there asking about the South African piping scene. A lot of it was addressed in the episodes. A lot of those questions were already answered. I think people were emailing as they were listening. So we did tackle a lot of those later on in the show. And we've got subsequent emails back saying, never mind, Rab, you answered my question. But for those who do have questions about how the logistics and everything of the South African piping scene, how it all works on the day of a competition, well, we'll certainly investigate that and look into it. Siobhan is definitely now well embedded in the Rab Show team, and we're very, very much looking forward to seeing the coverage that Siobhan's going to bring to us from the South African competition scene. So that's just around the corner, actually. Their season kicks off pretty soon. So, Siobhan is all set to go with cameras, mics, all sorts of great stuff. And, we're very much looking forward to the coverage from the South African scene. So thank you to everyone who did comment on last week's episode. A lot of people really enjoyed it. And, it's a bit of a break from what we have been doing, the Meet the Band series. If anything, we are going to be taking a little bit of a break from Meet the Band, but that's one of the things I wanted to throw out here on the show this week. We did get some questions asking, will we be bringing it back? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Meet the Band will return. But yeah, we're putting out an open call, of course. If your band does want to be a part of Meet the Band, and we haven't heard your story, then absolutely get in contact with us. Yeah, just email us in. bigrabshow@gmail.com. That address again, bigrabshow@gmail.com. And yeah, your band could be part of a future show. There you go. Right. Other bits of listener mail have all suddenly flown in today. At the point of recording this, the 4th of March, I'm sure by now you've seen one of the biggest news stories to drop in recent weeks. And we'll get into that in the news and updates. But just to let you all know, your comments, questions, queries, all of that will form our opinions as we go through the news. We will talk about that. So I know I'm being cryptic for now, Glasgow Sky, but we will talk about it. Okay? That'll be happening later on in the show. But your emails have been received. Thank you. So, yes, as for other listener mails and everything, we've been getting a dose of questions asking about the Big Rab Show store. People asking what the shipping rates are and stuff like that. Rab, I live in New Zealand, for example. There was a couple, actually, who wanted to order hats in New Zealand and wondered, can we ship to them? Yes, the answer is, yeah, 100%. We ship worldwide. And for now, shipping is free. So, yeah, we don't have shipping prices listed on our shop because... yeah, we're covering that at the moment. So I'd say at the moment, okay, that might not be the case in a few weeks. Anyway, so if you do want to take advantage of that free shipping and you're living internationally right now, well, yeah, go on ahead. Go on to thebigrabshow.com. There's a tab up at the very top of the page that says shop. Click on that and you can check out all the sweet Rab Show merch that we have up there. And yeah, at the moment we are shipping internationally free of charge. So you go and check that out. Big Rab Show shop. And yeah, shout out to everyone that's been buying hoodies, by the way. I don't know what's going on. I think everyone's buying Rab Show hoodies at the moment. We did get a few questions again asking about the purple hoodies. Rab, can we get the purples? No. Unfortunately not. We're not selling purple hoods. The purple stuff is just limited to team members only. So I know a lot of people have seen us wearing the purples out at competitions and stuff. But yeah, that's the crack. We wear that color to be very distinctive when we're out there, you know? We do very much stand out wearing bright purple out there. So that is reserved for team members, so officials know who we are and they can pick us out from across the park. See that guy in the purple shirt? That's Rab Show. Yeah, so that's the purpose behind that. There you are. But, you know, if we do get more questions, more people asking for purple stuff, then we might have to acquiesce, you know? Anyway, go and check it out, Big Rab Show shop. But yes, to everyone who's been asking questions about international shipping, yes, it's completely free. All right, so there you go. It's free for now. That might not be the case in future, but just wanted to throw that out there. There you go. All right. Other bits of listener mail and stuff was all putting together future episodes. We were getting questions asked, are we going to be doing any coverage of the New Zealand Nationals? Yes, is the answer to that question. I can't remember who emailed that in. I think that one came in from... I don't have the name. No, I thought I had it written down here. Apologies. I think it... no, I didn't have the name. Right. So, professional radio guy. But yes, we did get questions asking, are we going to be covering the New Zealand Nationals? The answer is yes. As to how that will look, we are still in the planning stages. I know it's only a few weeks away, but we do have some special shows lined up specifically for the New Zealand Nationals. That's just around the corner, not too far from now. There you go. Also, we are all still taking questions in for Ensemble. Yes. Do you remember that episode we recorded back over the course of the holidays with Pipe Major Rab Matheson? And we talked all about Ensemble and got some really interesting insights. Well, at the end of that episode, Rab Matheson promised that if we had any additional questions on Ensemble, especially from a grassroots piping point of view, so yeah, if we have that, then we can gather those questions together and Rab will actually come back on the show and answer your questions. So again, another call to action is what they call it. Yeah, keep those questions coming in. We have had a few questions specifically talking about 2/4 marches and how medleys can be constructed to help the music flow and stuff like that. Very interesting stuff. And then also how to consider tenor drumming in grade 3. That was an interesting question too. Yeah. So anyway, keep your questions coming. If you do have any ensemble questions and you would like us to pose those to Rab Matheson to bring it into a future show, absolutely. Send them in to us. bigrabshow@gmail.com. There you are. Whew. That was quite a bit of listener mail for this week, and I managed to get through the list there. Good stuff. So at this point in the show, we normally do head into weekly drone. Now I say normally because this week we don't have any. No, we don't have any weekly drones. No, weekly drones have been received this week. But as I've mentioned, at the point of me recording this show on the 4th of March and following the big news that just dropped that we're going to talk about, we've got a couple of weekly drones on that very topic. And some very strong opinions about this. And from what it appears also, a lot of very hurt feelings around this topic as well. So, get your weekly drones into us. They are a way for you to let us know your thoughts and opinions, warts and all, completely anonymous, without fear of recrimination. So you can go to our website, thebigrabshow.com, that big red button at the top of the page saying weekly drone. You can't miss it. And you can, click on that and let us know your story, warts and all, and I will bring it here to a future show. So, yes, that whole situation, the weekly drones are... There's another one. Yeah, okay, right. That we are getting weekly drones as I'm talking to you. So I will forward that on to JD, who will record it, and that'll probably be on next week's show. We'll get that. So there you go. If you do want to send in weekly drones, that's where you go, bigrabshow.com. Right, so as we don't have any weekly drones this week, I know that'll be a bitter disappointment to some, but I just wanted to get into something different. Before we do get into all of the news and updates, I wanted to mention this weekend is International Women's Day on Sunday the 8th of March. And I just wanted to give a particular mention to all of the amazing women who work on the Big Rab Show team. Shout out to Alicia, to Victoria, Annabelle, Chloe, Louise, and of course Siobhan, who was on last week's show. Thank you everyone there for keeping us all right, and thank you for all of the help, of course. You know, International Women's Day, and seeing a lot more women and girls involved in piping and drumming is just fantastic, and we're all for it, you know. So there you go. Just wanted to give you a shout out all for International Women's Day this weekend. We celebrate you all. Fantastic. There you are. All right. Let's move swiftly on, says a fella, as I'm chatting away about Women's Day. Anyway, let's get into all of the news and updates. I think I'll take myself a little bit of a break at this point before we get into it, because there's a lot of ground to cover this week. Ever wish you had a piping teacher on call 24/7? Well, now you do. Introducing the Interactive Player, a game-changing new practice tool at Dojo University. Play along with world champion pipers while the notes on your sheet music light up in time. Loop tricky phrases, slow down tough sections, zoom in to focus, and build speed automatically. It's like having a teacher right in your practice room, showing you how to master every tune at your own pace. So, sign up for a free trial today at pipersdojo.com and start learning smarter with Dojo U's Interactive Player.
Ready to take your playing to the next level? Say hello to the ES Session Chanter, the ultimate practice chanter designed for versatility and durability. Crafted from stainless steel and aluminium, the chanter comes equipped for both an A stem and a B flat stem, giving you the freedom to play along with any instrument, anytime, anywhere. Whether at a band practice or a trad session, the ES Session Chanter keeps pace with your creativity. Included with the chanter is the custom carbon carry case, the perfect addition to this compact and tactile instrument. To get yours, head to essessionchanter.co.uk.
Okay, time to get into all the news and updates. Now, there's one story that pretty much is going to dominate the whole show, right? And I've been teasing it, I guess, from the very beginning. Since the introduction, it's all anyone's talking about since this story dropped on the 4th of March. Now, I'm recording the show on the 4th of March, right? So this situation could well have moved on since, well, if you're listening to me later on, I guess, this week. But right now, the point of me recording it on the 4th of March, we're all kind of in a huge state of shock. Now, what I'm talking about is the announcement that came from Glasgow Sky Association Pipe Band. Yeah, now I'm going to read this statement verbatim, and then I'm going to give you some thoughts and feelings that I've been hearing from across the scene. The statement came out from Glasgow Sky Association Pipe Band to say, the Glasgow Sky Association Pipe Band regret to announce that Pipe Major Donald Stewart has resigned from the band with immediate effect. We would like to extend our sincere thanks to Donald for his dedication and leadership. Since his appointment in September 2023, he has driven huge improvements within the pipe corps. Given the unfortunate timing of this departure, the band has taken the difficult decision to step back from competition this season and look to rebuild in good time for the 2027 season. Ouch. But we're not done. With the decision to withdraw from competing being made, our leading drummer, Les Galbraith, has also taken the decision to step down from the band. Les has been a key part of the recent rebuild of the band, and we would like to put on the record our huge thanks to him for all his efforts and dedication throughout the past 3 seasons. It goes without saying that this is a blow to our band. However, with our proud history, supportive committee, central practice venue, and strong financial footing, the band remains fully committed to building on recent success and ultimately progress to Grade 1. Our pre-Worlds concert is unaffected and will be launched as planned within the next week. The band is now inviting applications and expressions of interest for the positions of pipe major and lead drummer. Inquiries will be treated with the strictest confidence. There you are. You can email them, glasgowskypb@gmail.com. Yeah. Whenever I first read that, that's maybe my 4th or 5th time reading that. Ouch is all I can think. All I can think about is all of those members of that band who just worked so hard to get back on the grass again. You know, I remember reporting the story, first of all, when Glasgow Sky decided to step back from competition and rebuild. And they stepped away from that Grade 1 circle, and the piping world was absolutely gutted. That's one of the things I think, like, the love out there for this band. There's so many fans of the Glasgow Sky. It's kind of crazy. And looking at the reaction from people online following this announcement, that's what I'm taking from this. It's a huge outpouring of love from around the scene where people are just so bitterly disappointed that the band has made the decision to pull the plug. Now, do I think that they had any choice? Well, it appears that they don't. Yeah. Given that this resignation from Donald Stewart has happened so late in the calendar, this is March, and our season, it kicks off in a couple of months. So to bring anyone into that leadership role at this point in the season, especially at Pipe Major, I don't think could have been possible. You know, it would be just too tall an order for anyone. So wouldn't be fair on the newly appointed PM, wouldn't be fair on any of the band members to hit the grade running in the ridiculous grade. Yeah. And when you look at the season that Glasgow Sky had last year, what a band. Seriously, what a band. There's been times, well, they have absolutely blown my socks off. And wow. You know, they were definitely a band to keep an eye on last season. Grade 2 is the ridiculous grade, and we've been mentioning that for a reason. It's seriously competitive in there. And Glasgow Sky were in the mix and juking it out most weekends. Some of the powerful displays that they've put on in competition over the past season was just another level. Yeah. Now, we've spoke about this on the show before. when we were talking about upgrades and downgrades, right? Now, this has been part of the discussion as well. People suggesting that perhaps Glasgow Sky have decided to pull the plug because they didn't get that push to Grade 1. Now, that was on the cards, and we were talking about it, you know, bands that we expected to see perhaps upgraded to Grade 1. Well, Glasgow Sky were certainly in that conversation. They've had an incredibly strong year last season, and did we expect them to make the jump to Grade 1? Well, quite possibly. But now that they, well, obviously haven't had that Grade 1 push, is that kind of the straw that broke the camel's back here in this case? Is this the reason the Pipe Major Donald Stewart has decided to resign from the band? Who knows? And I guess this is what leaves it open to speculation. Everyone is now asking, what happened? Yeah, and whenever you leave things open to speculation like that, it can be quite damaging when you look at some of the keyboard warriors that are out there on social media. There's a lot of them. A lot of very harsh opinions can be flung around willy-nilly and without much thought to the repercussions. And I would urge you to kind of stay away from all the mud flinging. But yeah, I'm like the rest of you. I'm very curious myself to find out just what happened. That's the question here. Now, as for the decision by their lead tipper, Les Galbraith, to take that step back, well, obviously Les wants to continue playing and he wants to be in that circle this season. And with the band essentially taking that step back, well, that would leave Les standing on the sidelines. So, do I blame him? Absolutely not. I think, if he wants to continue and push his drumming career forward, and I wish him the very best. Les has done a fantastic work with the drum corps there, and I'm so glad that the band have said a massive thank you to him, because he absolutely has done stellar work there at the Mighty Sky. So where Les will end up in future, who knows, but I do wish him well in his journey for sure, and I do hope to see him in the circle this season, absolutely. As for Pipe Major Donald Stewart, I guess from us on the Rab Show, we just want to say a huge thank you. Yeah, we can pretty much be rest assured, and that was 3 years of solid, hard graft by everyone there at the Pipe Band, and of course Donald as well. It was at the forefront of that. Yeah, dedication and leadership were in that statement, and I am sure that is absolutely correct. Yeah. So for us piping fans to hear that yet another pipe band has had to pull the plug this season, it kind of makes everyone take pause, I guess. We're all kind of looking at each other going, hold on a minute. That's like 3 massive pipe bands just completely disappeared. Like Closkelt, Johnstone, and now Glasgow Sky. And there's been others as well throughout this past winter season that have had to reluctantly pull the plug and step away. Now, I don't know. Is this a bad time to mention this? But RSPBA headquarters are going to be talking about a potential number cap and all of that. Yeah, they're going to place maximum numbers on bass sections, introduce a transfer window that we spoke about before on the show, and other different kind of implications that would might have repercussions for bands that are trying to maintain and stay on the grass and actually be competitive. It's such a difficult conversation. Is now the right time to introduce number caps and minimum and maximum numbers and address all of that stuff? I don't know. It's a fair argument to have, isn't it, though, at this time when we're seeing so many bands fall by the wayside, finding it difficult to maintain a competitive unit. So, the questions remain. What happened? Everyone now is scratching their head and going, what was going on? And I hate to say it, but who's next? It just seems to be all I'm hearing at the moment is band after band are stepping away, and it's so heartbreaking. What I would like to see is announcement after announcement that bands are returning to the circle. That's a good news story right there. And I remember whenever Glasgow Sky put out the announcement saying, hey, we're going back on the grass. Oh, you talk about a happy camper. yeah, everyone that was listening to me on Fuse, I'm sure were scunnered listening to Glasgow Sky because I played tons of their music after that announcement. But, yeah, it just doesn't bode well at the moment. And I'm very curious. The AGM is fast approaching. It's in 10 days' time, March 14th. A lot of this will be discussed, I'm sure. And I'm hoping that, yeah, the demise of a lot of these big bands will be on the cards to be discussed, to find out, well, what can we do to either prevent this from happening or to help sustain it in some way? Don't know. It's a very difficult question. And if anything, we're going to try and tackle that on a future topic of the week here on the Big Rab Show. Yeah, that's going to be a difficult one, that. But yeah, we are hoping to tackle the topic of keeping a band on the grass. Yeah, we would love to know your opinions on this, folks. What does it take to keep a band on the grass? Email us in, bigrabshow@gmail.com. Also, if you do have any thoughts, opinions, all of that to do with the Glasgow Sky Association situation, well, yeah, email us in with that one as well, bigrabshow@gmail.com. And if you don't want your name on it, of course, you can tell, keep it anonymous, that's fine. Or you can head to Weekly Drone, drop us in a Weekly Drone about it too. As I'm standing here recording it, yep, we've already got a few on the shelf here by the looks of it, and they're away to JD to record. There you go. Now, at the very end of this statement, talking about the band is stepping back to rebuild, it's encouraging that the band are just not dissolving altogether. That's one thing I took courage from. There is still going to be a nucleus there of the association, and they're going to rebuild for 2027. I am very hopeful that they will have someone in those leadership roles pretty quickly, please, and then start the process of, getting back into the circle. Some of the music that this band has produced over the years has just been iconic. I've been a huge fan of Glasgow Sky, always have been, and this is bitter news. Absolutely. There's no three ways around it, as they say. But if you are interested in taking up those leadership roles and stepping into the band, well, now's your opportunity. GlasgowSkyPB@gmail.com. They would love to hear from you. And who knows? I could be reading the story here on the show to say that they're back in the circle again, and guess who's in charge? Someone who listened to the pod. There you go. Now, also, another little bit of a positive, I guess. Every cloud does have a silver lining, I guess. There was that little paragraph in there to say that our pre-Worlds concert is unaffected. Of course, the Glasgow Sky Association pipe band, they host that every year in the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall. And, some of those shows have been the absolute highlight of the year. And, there's been tons of rumours about this year's concert as well. Loads of rumour. I'm not going to comment on it. All right. But I think this year's show's going to be a good one. That's all I'm going to say. All right. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because I'll say this. There's been many different bands mentioned in the conversation. And a few of you that have been texting into Fuse FM each week telling me that this is who it is. Well, there's a few of you out there that are right. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm saying no more. Yep. But it is good news, folks, that the concert is still happening. That's fantastic. And it's going to be announced in the next week. So that's even better. So I hope to be back again here next week on the pod, and I'll be telling you who's going to be heading the concert hall this year. Now, that's exciting. All right, so for all of those details, of course, and to see the full statement, you can go along to the Glasgow Sky Association pipe band on their socials. You can read it all there, and you can see a lot of the outfall from it as well. The comments and overall love from across the scene. I think it's been really heartwarming. Of course, there is the odd one out there that, keyboard warriors. But, stay away from all of that nonsense. And I think this is just overall quite a heartbreaking story. No one ever likes to read stories like this, but I am very hopeful to see the Mighty Sky back in the circle again next season. Yeah. All right. So that's the big elephant in the room. Let's get to the rest of the news and updates then, shall we? I have to give a shout out to The Clasp. Yes, the competition league for amateur solo pipers. Yeah, I had to look that up, actually. Yeah. The Clasp held their February competition, which was held live online via Zoom. Now, had been running now for quite a while and seems to have been really successful, especially in recent years. You know, post-COVID and everything, you would think that Zoom competitions would be a thing of the past, but no, the Clasp has kept this going. And as a result, a lot of international people are able to compete at a solo event. So this is fantastic. So, yeah. This past competition was held on February 6th and 7th online through the power of Zoom, and we have to give a shout out to the winners. Winner of the Grade 1 competition overall was Charles David Mitchell. Well done, Charles. In second place was Anthony Kelly. Third place was Emmanuel Bergant. And in fourth place was Chi Kit Young. There you are. Who won the light music competition. There you are. So for full listings of all of the grades, who won what and where, go and check it out. Plus, you can also check out some of the videos of the performances from the Clasp competition. They've shared that out as well on bagpipe.news. Go and have a watch at that. But yeah, congratulations to all of our prize winners in the Clasp. I believe the next competition isn't that far around the corner, actually. So, yeah. For more information, of course, on all things Clasp, you can go to theclasp.co.uk and where you can go and sign up for your membership and everything. And yeah, once you're signed up, yeah, you can take part in these events. So I think the next one, looking at the calendar here, yeah, May 1st and May 2nd is the next live online competition. There you are. So get that date in your diary. But yeah, shout out to all of the winners there at the Clasp online competition. Good stuff. Okay, I'm going to give a shout out this week to pipesdrums.com, who published a bit of an article there just last week. Yeah, just the day after we published the pod, actually. And it was kind of looking forward to the World Championships with a bit of a shock headline that only 13 bands are expected for Grade 1 for this year's Worlds. Yeah. Now, this, again, it's up to speculation. I think they've asked around various bands if they're going to be competing or not. And this is the list that they've managed to put together so far. This is what they're aware of. Okay, so there's been 13 bands so far confirmed for Grade 1 that they will be there in Glasgow. This remains to be seen, okay? So we have the 70th Fraser Highlanders, Field Marshal Montgomery, Hawthorne from Australia, excellent. We have Inverarian District, of course, Peoplesford, Boghall and Bathgate, Caledonia. We have Police Scotland and Federation, Police Scotland Fife, Ravara, Scottish Power, Shotts and Dykehead, Caledonia, Simon Fraser University, St. Lawrence O'Toole, and the St. Thomas Alumni Pipe Band. And that's your Grade 1. Now, I know a lot of people now will be thinking, where are the Kiwi bands? Now, that's part of the article. They do talk about this and how bands from New Zealand do try and make the trip every 2 years. Given the absolute sheer cost that it takes to get a band from New Zealand to Scotland every year, it's just not possible. Seriously, it's a massive amount of money. But yeah, so we did have some Kiwi bands competing at last year's World Championships. So yeah, we will not see them this season, I guess. So that's disappointing. You know, we'd always love to see our New Zealanders duke it out. But hey, alas, it isn't to be. But we do hope to see them next season for sure. Now, as for Grade 2, yeah, they put the feelers out to see who in Grade 2 will be competing at the Worlds. And, yeah, makes for an interesting read. Now, so far, they reckon in around 26 or so bands, I think, roughly. So, which is kind of close to that 23 band threshold. And that's the reason I'm mentioning it in the show this week. So, yeah, that 23 band threshold means that they'll have to run a qualifier, and that, you know, split it into groups and all that. So, it could be very interesting if they do hit that threshold. So, at the moment, the full list of bands that they have listed here on pipesdrums.com for Grade 2. Again, this is open for speculation. This could change. Kicking things off, we have Bagot Cap Caval, we have Buck and Peterson, Bucksburn District, Cascadia, Celtic, New Zealand. Yeah, the Celtic Pipe Band. We have the City of Dunedin, City of Edinburgh, Colburn, IOR, Denny and Donnypace, Grampian Police, Johnstone. We have the LA Scots, Mackenzie Caledonia, and the Mac Cals that I gave a shout out to last week. Yep. Macmillan, Manor Cunningham, North Stratton, Oban, Peel Regional Police, the Pipe Band Club from Sydney in Australia. Excellent. Royal Borough of Annan. We have Texo Deeside, Caledonia, Tullylagan, St. Joseph's, Uddingston, and the Ulster Scottish. And that's quite a list, isn't it? There you go. So, folks, I don't know. It's a very interesting opinion piece that was published on pipestrums.com. Go and have a look at it. As I say, it is an opinion piece and could absolutely change. This was just done through their own research, asking, hey, is your band going to the Worlds this year? And they go, what? Hey, I think so. And then they get a tick beside their name, and then it gets published on an article. So that's how it works. So it could be subject to change. But it is all published up there, pipestrums.com. And yeah, will we see that amount of bands in the circle in grade 1 and grade 2? I'm hopeful. I'm also hopeful for potentially more. You know, this is only, the start of March, and the Worlds is not until August, and I'm really hoping I will continue to see more names added to those lists. Yeah. Do you know the way we love a hashtag list here in the show? We do. We love one. So, yeah, well done to pipestrums.com. Go and check it out. That big list is published over there, and you can, discuss it around your dinner table at home. Okay, now, over this last week or two, now we've been talking about the brand new RSPBA website. And a number of you out there have actually been sending in listener mail and giving us your comments on the new site. So if you haven't checked it out, by the way, our own RSPBA headquarters, they must have invested a lot of time, money, and effort in the looks of things, because this website, I think, is brilliant. You know, I've had a good dig around it now at this point, and, I pretty much use the site every day for various things. But yeah, rspba.org, the brand new website for our RSPBA has been launched, and you folk out there have now had time to peruse and dig through it. And I have to say the feedback for it is largely positive. A lot of people really enjoying the new format. And we got some feedback saying that now getting a lot of your forms and rules and stuff like that you need is a lot easier to get. And even links to a shop now. Have you seen this? The RSPBAY, RSPBay? Yeah. RSPBAY.com is the RSPBA shop. And there's a lot of really cool swag on there. You know, for every championship, they have a logo, and you can always buy a t-shirt. Yeah. So if you happen to manage to forget to buy one when you were there, then you can go and pick one up now. There are still t-shirts and hoodies from last year's Worlds, Scottish Championships, for example. I think the Europeans and that as well, UK's. All that sweet RSPBA merch is up there, and every purchase over there does help support the RSPBA. So there you go. But yes, just wanted to reflect that in this week's news and updates. If you haven't checked out the site yet, please do. It honestly has been a bit of a hit, I think, with bagpiping fans out there. Even the development of the new calendar. Got a lot of comments about that as well, saying that the calendar is a lot easier to read because it's all broken down by month and what is happening when. In date order. That's important. So it does help people plan, for sure. So, yeah, I use the site pretty much every day. I know it sounds like a huge plug. It absolutely is. If you haven't checked out the new website for our RSPBA headquarters, go and have a look at it. It's class. All right. I'm going to give a huge plug this week. And it seems to be all I'm doing this week. It's plugging stuff. But, yeah. Piping Live have been, putting out announcements as to who's going to be playing. Yeah, they've been putting out announcements of who will be hitting the main stage at the Piping Centre and other gigs across the city. And to say that this is exciting and they haven't released the full lineup yet. Oh, this looks good. Shout out to Ailish Sutherland. They're going to be performing. Yeah, we have Gary Innes and Ewan Henderson will be there as well. What? We also have a band called Frass as well, which I'm not familiar with, but I'm very keen to learn more about them. Hi. Shout out to Piping Live, who have been periodically putting out announcements for this year's festival. If you aren't across that detail and you aren't following them on socials, then what are you doing? Get over onto Piping Live. Go and check out their announcements, as they're kind of drip feeding them at the moment. They're just kind of trickling them out there, you know? Oh, this huge band who'll absolutely melt your face. Oh, yeah, they're playing. Oh, what about this band? Oh, yes, they'll absolutely melt your face as well. And they're playing as well. Yeah. Go and check them out. I think this year's Piping Live, man, is going to be exciting. Oh, I can't wait. So, yeah, go and give them a follow on social media. And, those details for those upcoming acts that they have announced is on their social media. And, you can get tickets and all for it now on their website, pipinglive.co.uk. Tickets are available. Go and grab them. Okay, this is one specifically for those folks living in New Zealand right now who may want to compete in the RSPBA Oceania Solo Drumming Championships, which will be held in St Andrews College there in Christchurch. Now, the reason I'm plugging it is, of course, this event is absolutely huge because it has that all-important pre-Worlds, that pre-qualification spot. You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah, it's an RSPBA sanctioned event and has that pre-qualification spot, which everyone will be hungry for. So if you are wanting to compete at that, well, entries for that is now open. And just to let you all know, the entries will close on the 19th of April. Go along to rnzpba.com for full details, along with your playing requirements, etc. And then get all of that, get your paperwork squared away, and then have your entry completed by the 19th of April. And we will see you on the stage there at the RSPBA Oceania competition. Yeah. Now, I know folks living internationally have asked, will there be any coverage from the event, from the Oceania? Not sure yet. There hasn't really been any murmurings about that, but I know a lot of folk here, especially in the UK, are very keen to see what's happening there at that competition because there'll be a lot of great talent coming through. So, that's going to be competitive. I'm very much looking forward to that. Entries are open now and close on the 19th of April. There you are. Okay, well, we are in the middle of concert season right now, and I'm not going to start plugging and promoting all the concerts and stuff because there is quite a list now. But I do spend a bit of time doing that over on Fuse. So if you've ever listened to us over on Fuse FM, we've been promoting a lot of those concerts that are fast approaching. But there's one concert that was just newly announced there, just yesterday. This was an evening with Fred Morrison. Yes, the world-renowned piper, composer, and is lovingly called the Jimi Hendrix of the bagpiping world. Yeah. Fred Morrison can put on an absolutely iconic show, and it's so exciting to see him back on stage again. Here he is. It'll be on the 4th of April in the Mossart Tavern in Forres. For full information, you can contact Elgin and District Pipe Band, who are hosting the evening, or you can go to Fred Morrison Pipes on his socials for tickets and all of that stuff. So, this will be a great night of crack and blistering tunes. And, for anyone that has seen Fred Morrison live, you know what I'm talking about. That guy can absolutely thump a tune. And I don't think the recordings and stuff that we have of Fred, it's very difficult to capture that lightning in a bottle, you know? You get the live atmosphere of the crowd clapping and cheering and dancing along. It's just absolutely brilliant. If you do get a chance to go and see Fred Morrison live in person, do go. Do, absolutely. Grab a ticket, go and check him out. 4th of April, up in Forres, thanks to Elgin and District Pipe Band. Yeah, go and check it out. All right, wanted to briefly mention that the William Kerr Memorial Pipe Band are holding a fundraiser evening in Dungannon Rugby Club. This is on Thursday, the 2nd of April, and will be a quiz night. Yeah, these quiz nights are very popular, by the way. There's loads of them, which is fantastic. They do seem to be a great night's crack, you know. Charges are $5 a person and a maximum of 6 person per team. There'll be a raffle in the evening as well, and refreshments will be served as well. This will be Dungannon Rugby Club, Thursday, the 2nd of April, raising money for the William Kerr Memorial Pipe Band. And I do know people out there that attend these quiz nights professionally. Now, I'm not going to name them, but there is those out there that's what they spend their weekends doing. They go to quiz night to quiz night to quiz night, and they sweep the boards with the prizes. Some people out there are really good at general knowledge and stuff like that, and I'm absolutely hopeless. But there's another quiz night, and I don't know what the prizes are, but best of luck. But shout out to William Kerr Memorial, and that's another quiz night to go to. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, there was a wee announcement there just yesterday from the BC Pipers Association about the 2026 Bonnie Music Memorial Competition and Recital. Yes, now I was waiting on this. I knew it was going to be happening soon, but the announcement hadn't happened yet. So here it is. The announcement finally dropped. It's going to be happening on the 28th of March in Anderson Room in the Seaforth Armoury in Vancouver. There you are. So, for full information on everything to do with the Bonnie Music Memorial competition, head along to BC Pipers on their socials. They have links across there where you can get donations and everything and tickets and all that kind of stuff. For all of that information, It's all up there now. So go and check it out. The Bonnie Music Memorial Competition recital is all happening on March 28th. There you are. Also wanted to briefly mention another competition is taking place in Wellington in New Zealand called Pipes in the Park. Quite a number of bands actually competing at this. They have solo competitions and all of that throughout the morning from 10 a.m, solo piping and drumming. But then we have the bands all kicking off from 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I think one of the highlights on the day, of course, will be the appearance of Manawatu Scottish. There you are. So that's, this weekend, March 7th, Pipes in the Park in Wellington in New Zealand. So best of luck to everyone there. And, kind of excited to see you all in the circle. I know we give a shout out there to the Manawatu, of course, but shout out to the Wellington Red Heckle. Looking forward to seeing you. Scots College, of course, as well. City of Wellington, of course. Yeah, come on. There's way too many bands to give a shout out to all of you. Best of luck to everyone there to Pipes in the Park this weekend in Wellington and New Zealand. Okay, this is one for trad and folk music fans. One of the best bands in the business right now, arguably, is Brabach, and they have just put out an announcement about their United States tour. Yeah, they're heading across to the US and dates all across April. Now, there is a huge hashtag list here. The folks at Brabach are going to be very busy. But if you aren't familiar with the sound of Brabach, well, I think dual bagpipes, they're kind of one of the first bands to kind of pioneer that sound in the trad world. And they've absolutely blazed a trail. And if you haven't seen them live, well, you're really missing a trick. They are an award-winning band for good reason, and you should go and check them out if you can. So go along, check them out on their socials, Brabach, and if they are playing near you, then do absolutely grab a ticket and go and check them out. There'll be all sorts of great thumping bagpipe in there, and a lot of great trad and folk for by. So go and check them out, Brabach and the United States tour. Okay, before we get into another news story, I just wanted to give a shout out to someone who was on the show there not too long ago. As part of our Meet the Band series where we caught up with the Kevin R. Blandford Memorial Pipe Band. You might remember that conversation. Well, yeah, as part of that discussion, we had Martha Hall joining us on the call and chatting away to Martha all about the Kevin R. Blandford. Well, she kept it quiet, but she is now a fully qualified judge. Yay! That deserves a yay. Congratulations, Martha. Now, I was aware that you were kind of doing what they call the dummy runs, you know, where you're in there completing crit sheets and everything, but they don't count towards the final result. So doing the training and all of that. Yeah. So, yeah, Martha is now a piping judge, and full congratulations from all of us here in the Rab Show team. That's been brilliant to see that, judges passing and all of that, their qualifications and all. It's very difficult to be a judge, actually. I've been looking into all of this and the processes that are involved in actually getting qualified. It's really intense, like seriously intense. And that's something I might want to discuss here on a future Rab Show. As much as sometimes we give judges a hard time here on the show, I do try and keep it balanced. But yeah, being an adjudicator is an incredibly difficult job. And to even be in there with a clipboard, you need to know your stuff. And from what I'm finding, to be able to stand in there with the clipboard, you need to have so many qualifications behind you. You need to jump through so many hoops to even be in that position in the first place. So, yeah, I got mad respect, as they would say nowadays, for our adjudicators and all of the procedures and processes they have to go through to even be in that circle with the clipboard in the first place. So perhaps this entire journey could be something we could tackle on a future show. Would you folks like to hear that story? Or do you just not care? You're like, any old legion can be in there with a clipboard. Who cares? It's one that I'm genuinely interested in, our adjudicating panel and how they look at bands and how they judge them. And then how do you even begin to be a judge? I don't know, man. It's such a difficult task. I don't know how any judge does it, to be honest, especially when you watch the likes of our world championships and that. It's nigh on impossible. But anyway, there you go. Just wanted to give a shout out to Martha. Congratulations. Newly qualified piping judge. Congratulations. Let's move on. All right. We have another quite sad news story, I guess. This kind of dropped on social media just yesterday from McClellan Bagpipes. He used to be a great supporter of ourselves here in the Big Rab Show. love McClellan. Well, they put it out on their socials saying that on March 31st, McClellan Bagpipes will close the order book for all new sets of Highland pipes. That's it. They're closing up shop. Now, the full statement is on their socials. You can go and have a look at it. And I don't know, man. It's heartbreaking. You know, McClellan Bagpipes have produced some real artisanal-looking, amazing, beautiful sets of pipes. You know, they have that. They're kind of known for that tulip design. You know, I love them. Yeah, on their statement that they put out on their socials, they've said they've created over 2,500 instruments that have left their workshop over the past 32 years, and each one carries hours of unforeseen conversations remembered and tone earned the old-fashioned way by listening. The whole thing is just poetic. The whole thing is so well written, and it honestly is the end of an era. Ourselves and Rab Show absolutely love McClellan. They've been great supporters of ours here in the Rab Show. I've always wanted a set of McClellan's. Never was able to get enough scratch to actually buy a set. But I don't know. For anyone that's been looking to set McClellan bagpipes, well, you have now until the end of the month, and that's when the order book closes. Yeah. So if you want to pick yourself up a bit of bagpiping history, well, now's your opportunity. Head over there to McClellan Bagpipes now. Go and wish them well, I guess. So as to what the future holds for McClellan, no idea. I guess we just have to wait and see on that front. If there will be any sporadic sets springing up, who knows? Just no idea. At the very end of their statement, it reads like this. Thank you for valuing handmade instruments. Thank you for trusting sound shaped by human hands. Thank you for carrying music farther than any workshop ever could. McClellan Bagpipes. Oh, man. See, when I read that got me. I was like, this sucks. This is such bad news. But it honestly is the end of an era, and I want to say a huge thank you to McClellan for all of their support over the years. It's just been brilliant to know the team there. And, of course, yeah, thank you for all of your incredible instruments that you've made. Over 2,500 of them now out there in the piping world making music. And yeah, tone was king with McClellan. So yeah, the end of an era. Yikes. Yeah, so from such negative news, I have to give, well, a bit of a positive news story, I guess. Yeah, it's a fundraiser. Another fundraiser is happening. I told you we're in the middle of concert season right now. I have to give a shout to Uddingston. Uddingston Pipe Band are hosting Roddy McLeod MBE for a night of piping at the Tannyside Miners Club. Yeah, on the 8th of May. For full details, you can go and check out Uddingston Pipe Band on their socials, where they've been promoting this over this last number of days, including where to go and grab your tickets. I think they're available on Eventbrite. So there you are. If you are interested in going along and checking out an evening with Roddy McLeod, MBE, and supporting the Uddingston Pipe Band, well, there's your opportunity. Get that date in your diary. The 8th of May on the Tannyside Miners Club. Okay, I'm going to give a mention to another concert that I haven't plugged here on the show. New Rossin District. Their Celtic Weave concert is back again. It's back again! Yeah, this one is a huge highlight of the year, each year it comes round. And some of the music that's been produced at this show over the years has just been brilliant. So yeah, I had to give them a mention this week. New Rossin District, welcome back the Celtic Weave concert. It'll all be taking place on the 28th of March, and they have a full listing of who all's going to be playing. Now, that's all I'm going to really mention it for now. If you are anyways interested in heading along to St. Michael's Theatre on the 28th of March and you're maybe not going to the Kids with Cancer night, well, there you are. Celtic Weave is happening on the same night. Yeah, so go and check it out. Anybody there in New Rossin District will be able to hook you up with tickets, or of course you can go to St. Michael's Theatre box office and grab them now. Admission is €15 and they'll welcome you through the door. There you go. Okay, that's pretty much it for all the news and updates. I'm going to draw a line under it at this point, but I did want to give a brief mention to Tradfest, Belfast Tradfest. They have a number of piping events all across the city over the course of St. Patrick's Day weekend. If you aren't aware of them, go along, check it out. Yeah, there's a plethora of them there. There's junior competitions, senior competitions as well, but also a huge pipe band gathering. which is happening at City Hall as part of Tradfest. If anything, I was talking all about this on Radio Ulster there on Sunday past, so you can go and check that out on Kintra, where I caught up with the musical director of Belfast Tradfest, and he talked all about piping and drumming being a vital part of the festival. So, if you're anyways curious about all of the piping action that's going to be happening in Belfast over the course of St. Patrick's Day weekend, go and check out Belfast Tradfest, and there's St. Patrick's Day Festival. That's going to be exciting there, yeah. So before we get into the topic, I know I said that was it for the news and updates. I just wanted to mention that the results from the Leinster Solos are now up there on the IPBA website. Again, I know we haven't really got a chance to chat about it, but yeah, I need to draw a line under it at some point. If you are anyways interested in those results, just full congrats to all of the competitors, by the way. Shout out to all of you that did take part. The Leinster Solos, you go to ipba.ie and you follow all the links there. Leinster Solo results are all up there. Congratulations, everyone. Okay, so as promised, that's it for the news and updates. And time for me to go and get myself a big cup of tea. It's time for the topic of the week.
Kingdom Thistle Pipe Band Supplies, for all your pipe band and marching band needs. Supplying everything from uniforms and instruments to custom designed bass drum heads. They offer it all. Not forgetting their exclusive Kingdom Gilly Brogues and George Boots, crafted by bands for bands. Kingdom Thistle provides expert product advice and an industry-leading drum refurbishment service to keep your equipment in top-class condition. Also, shipping worldwide. So, stop by their store in Fife or visit them online at kingdomthistle.com for all your pipe band and marching needs.
Marchify, the brand new home of Flam 5 drumming. Check out their brand new Strike bagpipe case, inspired by their colourful, popular and reliable Flam 5 drum cases. The Strike bagpipe case combines durability, style and practicality, protecting every movement. Shop now at marchify.co.uk with worldwide shipping available. Marchify, every movement protected.
Hi, this is Ross Ainsley, and you're listening to the Big Rab Show.
So, folks, we've been plugging it now for a few weeks now, but this week we're going to talk about it in a lot more detail. The Kids with Cancer 2026 is back again. 28th of March in the Royal Hotel in Cookstown. You guys know the venue by now. Yeah, that date should already be firmly in your calendar. And the artists on stage at this one's going to be huge. And joining us on the show this week, we have Gary Smith to tell us all about it. Gary, you're back again for another one, mate.
Yeah, back for more punishment, Rab, yeah.
So, looking at the lineup for this one, obviously one of the big star attractions is Police Scotland Fife are going to make an appearance at this one. That's quite the booking, mate.
It is, some of which we had spoke to Mick and David over his last few years. Other bands we had kind of, we had them kind of coming maybe this year, next year, and type of thing. But then, with the way the band had progressed, and one thing I know they had other engagements. I know last year they were in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Except so just things, just timing just didn't work out. But they're absolutely over the moon and have already been practicing since maybe I think October or November type of thing for this year already.
There you go. So, well, I'm hoping to catch up with David and Mick to find out more about the prep behind the scene. I'm looking forward to it, though. This is exciting for many different reasons. Yeah.
It's the first time that Police Scotland Fife as a band has actually played on stage in Northern Ireland. Which
I was thinking that. I've said it a few times on air, but I just wasn't sure. So I didn't say it too many times in case I was completely wrong.
well as well as the band, coming up through the ranks and met in the prize winner nearly every major. It was also another thought to yourself, well, this is another first for the charity concert that you have the band coming across, for the first time to say on stage here.
Yeah.
And certainly, I'm delighted to have them over because they're certainly up and coming. And as I said to David, one of the first times that we were chatting, you'd be surprised now if Fife aren't in the top 6.
Oh, yeah. Aye.
Whereas a few years ago, it could have been, if they made a top six, that was kind of, Iron Fife nipped in. Whereas now they're nearly a permanent fixture in there.
It's part of the conversation now, isn't it, Gary? Yeah, you're quite right.
Nope.
So, yeah, dead excited to see Police Scotland Fife. So, we'll bring more of the Fife conversation in a minute or two. But I do want to talk about the soloists, Gary, that you have involved here. Seems to be you have quite the who's who from the World Solo Drumming Championships. Do you want to give them a bit of a shout out as to who all's appearing?
Certainly. On the tenor drumming scene, we have the Juvenile Section 1 World Solo Drumming Champion, Lucy Semple.
Yes, Lucy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Lucy's certainly an up-and-coming star here in Northern Ireland in the tenor drum, there's no doubt.
Absolutely, yeah.
We move on to the snare drumming, and we have Juvenile Section 1 World Champion Henry Turkington.
Go on, Henry, who I know was incredibly excited to lift that title. Yes, well done, Henry. Fantastic.
Again, like Lucy, is like all the three lads here, like Juvenile Section 3 World Champion Matthew Brownlee.
Yes, Matthew.
So, like, as we've seen a lot of, on wee clips on YouTube and different bits and pieces there from Matthew, and he's certainly a talent to behold. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely, yeah. If anything, the social media clips from Matthew, Henry, and Lucy as well. There's been clips everywhere. So entertaining. That's something that these youngsters are bringing now, Gary. Their social media game,
It certainly makes you feel old like a day,
doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. So we also have, we've Jamie Coffey joining as well.
Coffey's back for the third time as a world champion.
Mm-hmm.
So Jamie is an old hand at this here now, but he won the Section 4 there at the World Solos.
That's right.
So, just to say, Jamie's back again, and if you're going to talk about back again for the his ninth appearance, Wally Glenholmes.
Wally. I was going to say Wally Glenholmes. It's not the kids who can't tonight without Wally Glenholmes at this point.
Certainly not. And it's just like everything else with Wally. It's just a matter of, no problem. Send me the date,
and that's it. Yeah,
that's it. Busted.
Absolutely. So I'm excited to see that for sure. Wally always gets a huge cheer on the night.
He does.
The crowd love him. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's it. And to finish off the drumming part of it is the Killed It Cousins.
Oh, you're doing that again? That's fantastic. I know you probably hate it, Gary. Big ball stress.
There's no doubt it is an absolute torture to try and get someone organised. And it generally is the first, as soon as we get things set up, as you know, whatever you were there earlier on today, Rob, is get these boys set up and get a run at it to see how it's actually going to go.
Yeah.
After that, the rest of the night it's a dawdle. It's a dawdle once they're off stage.
But it's getting them on that stage, Gary, is the trick. Yeah.
Just saying it. I had a full head of hair before we started working with them.
Oh, dear. So not only, Gary, do we have some of the cream of the crop of the drumming end, but we also have some drum majors who I think Northern Ireland does drum majoring well. I think that's fair to say.
It certainly is. I think this could either be the second, if not the third year, that we have all three world champions in each section here.
Yeah.
Performing in the adult section, Jamie Couples.
Yes. Oh, that'll be a big moment, I hope he brings the mace with him. That's my hope. Yeah.
The junior section, we have Lydia Todd, who won the World Championships there in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the juvenile section, then we have Ben Dixon.
Yes.
So I think this could be possibly the third year that we have all three world champions attending, performing at the show.
It sort of speaks volumes about drum major in Northern Ireland, doesn't it, really?
There's no doubt. Yeah. And then also in the drum major scene there, we have the Mid-Ulster Drum Major Academy.
Yeah, was this Cara Gilmer's school in Castledawson there? Yeah.
Yes, aye.
Mm-hmm.
So Cara was, I'm not too sure, it's halfway through the season there last year. I sit there and obviously to bring the youngsters, it gives them something to look forward to. I know obviously Queen Elizabeth do a lot of different wee functions, and I'm quite sure the Drum Major Academy play at many things throughout the year.
Yeah.
but this is maybe something that's a wee bit slightly different. So, so that's a good lot of world champion drum majors.
Absolutely, all in one place at one time. Yeah.
Yes, and hopefully a few more stars if the future coming through.
Absolutely. Now, not only that, do we have all the piping and drumming and drum majoring and all of that stuff, but we also have some Highland dancing this year, Gary.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, Michelle Johnson's someone that I've known for a good few years there, and I know her School of Highland Dancing has certainly progressed year after year after year. And it is something which we have kind of looked at for a couple of years, but we've kind of always run out of time and run out of space, for different acts. So that was one of the first acts that we had kind of touched base with this year, because I thought it was a time, we have, as you say, piping and drumming and drum majors and tenor drumming and all the rest of it. And the Highland dancing was really the only bit that was kind of being left out.
Yeah.
And not through any other reason other than
time.
We just can't fit an hour in. Can't fit 20 minutes in, because sometimes it's, well, you know yourself, it's tight going to try and get everybody on stage, off stage, next one on.
Yeah. It's a bit of a conveyor belt at times, getting people on and off stage. Yeah, understand.
There's no doubt about it. And I probably do have the easy job on the night on the stage, but obviously Derek's the boy up and down the stairs.
He's the runner on the night. Yeah.
Well, I think he seems to be happy. He usually loses about a stone every year. But he's the boy, to be fair, up and down the steps, to try and get everybody down on time, and does a good job at it too.
There you go. Oh, well, here, best of luck to all of the backroom team, Gary, who are preparing for this big event, and to everyone who's going to be hitting the stage. I'm dead excited for this. So can you tell us then, the charity itself, this is raising money for the Children's Cancer Unit in the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast, and has raised a lot of money so far. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's it, Rob. After our 8 previous concerts, we have raised £89,055.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot of money which the Pipe Band family throughout, throughout Northern Ireland, Scotland, and the Republic of Ireland, and everywhere, even on our online one a few years ago, like we even had the Mr. Australia Police and different bits and pieces. So it has been a worldwide, and I'm quite sure the bands throughout the world, if you were to mention the concert, they have heard tell of it at some shape or form.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So, but it's certainly a good lot of money, and hopefully, I'm hoping now this year, and I have said it a few years ago, that we would love to get to the 100,000, and
that's the goal.
And I'm hoping come the 29th of March, the Sunday morning, we've hit that target.
Oh, with a bit of luck, yeah. So tickets are available now. They are 20 quid. I have heard murmurings of people saying, oh, that's expensive. But, folks, just to remind you, this is a charity concert. You are raising money for a very worthy cause. And, Gary, it's a long night as well.
It is, Rob. It starts at 6 o'clock, and that will start at 6 sharp. That's one thing we do. We have got to try and keep it on the ball as much as possible, because but you take the auction into it's like a 5-hour show, So basically, you're talking about £4 an hour.
Yeah, when you break it down like that, yeah, you're right.
Anybody, turn around and head out for a Saturday night, and do your budget for £4 an hour. Let me know how you get on.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah,
I'll not take you too far. Neither at the bar, at the taxi, or at a meal. But it's for a good cause, and the children and the family and the staff at the cancer unit appreciate everything that the Pipe Band family have done over the years, and obviously now that Sinead comes down to inform us where the money goes to, I think it gives everybody a great insight with what to also do there, and obviously the videos which we get from the cancer unit. Yes, they may very well be hard hitting, and there's certainly been one or two over the years that have been. But that's true life.
That's it.
That's true life for our children, And I'm not saying people don't have the right to complain about this and that, but I just think to myself, if you can't, if you can't see £20 for 5 hours for a night's entertainment,
Aye.
okay, everybody has their own ways of looking at it. But I, whenever you see those videos, I just think to myself, the children need as much help and the family as possible. But
I agree. Yeah, no, it's such a worthy charity, and seeing the work that they do with all those youngsters and the families as well. Like, it's not just the kids they work with, but it's the mums, dads, the extended family. It is such a worthy charity. Yeah. So anyone listening right now, if you do want to grab tickets, we have shared out those details many times. Gary is the man you need to speak to. So grab your tickets and avoid disappointment. Gary, I'm going to go here and chat to Mick and David, who are waiting in the wings. I'm going to chat all about what they have in store for us. But thank you for chatting to us on the pod this week. Appreciate it.
No problem, Rob. Thanks very much for your help as always.
Thank you. So, as mentioned, we have lead tipper and pipe major of Police Scotland Fife, David and Mick. How are you, lads, as well?
Oh, very well, very well. I'll speak on behalf of myself. I know that Mick is probably the same, but go on, Mick.
Yeah, I'm all good. Just raring to go.
Yeah.
Good. So, well, speaking of raring to go, I think there's so many folk that are just lining up to grab these tickets at the moment. There's so many people excited to see you guys. Now, one thing that Gary mentioned, and I've been saying this on air, and I don't know if it's true or not, I believe this is the band's first appearance on stage in Northern Ireland. Are we right in saying that? Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah. Mick?
That's true. Yeah. Well, I've been with the band since 2008, so and the band's never appeared in Northern Ireland in its whole history. So obviously its inception in 2007, and I've been with the band since 2008, and we've never been over. So very much looking forward to that for sure.
Oh, it's a big moment, definitely. Now, we have seen you guys in competition over here. That's one thing. But we know that you can absolutely throw a big concert. Come on. We need to talk about the gig in Aberdeen. Folks, I haven't got catching up with you since that. David, how did you find the concert in Aberdeen? Did you enjoy it?
Well, it was a real buzz. No, we thoroughly enjoyed it. We thoroughly enjoyed putting the music together. We also enjoyed the challenge of maybe the acoustics on the day. We knew it was going to be challenging from previous concerts, a very echoey place. So we sort of, we built that into our repertoire, I feel. We sort of knew that with what we're trying to do, we're trying to establish our own brand, and I think we gave people a brand that we're pleased about, and then the feedback was fantastic from those who attended, and thereafter. So no, we were delighted with it all, but it was great to just sort of hone in on who we were. It gave us some good conversations between us all, Mick, that what we really wanted to present. Who are we as a band? What are we doing? And then just really go for that, develop that. So yeah, it was a load of fun.
Yeah. And that's the word I want to use, is fun, David. That really came across. Now, I don't know if you've seen the little video clip that we managed to catch of you guys kind of warming up before things, and the kind of like very cheeky walked in next to the drummers. Mick, you've got a drum corps that know how to concentrate when there's someone there with a camera right next to them.
So they've got good faces for radio, to be fair.
All right, okay.
Rather than for video, so that's why they're concentrating on my drums, so they don't have to have the faces on the camera. But yeah, no, I've got a great team. There's no doubt. I just echo what David said about that. It was a great experience for the band. A lot. When we came on to see you last year to talk about it, a lot of new faces were in the band then. So, that's right, although there were a few guys from the concert we did back in 2018, there were many guys and girls in the lineup that actually weren't part of that particular concert back then. So it was great to get on the stage in Aberdeen and actually show, as David said, show the new music and the new musical direction that the band had gone in. And I think that came across. Fun was the word that I would use as well. I mean, we had a lot of fun up there. A lot of music, but it was just a great experience for the band, and great to get that positive feedback.
Oh, absolutely. And the amount of selfies and big silly smiles at the end of the event was testament to all of that. I think it was fantastic. Yeah. So, well, we're obviously hopeful that we're going to get a little piece of that now in sunny Cookstown. Well, hopefully it's going to be sunny. Gary, can you sort the weather for us? Yeah. So I don't know if you can give us any kind of an inkling or any sneak peeks, but has the band been preparing then already for this upcoming concert then, David?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first thing we've focused on really this year was doing getting a new medley to put together and just getting that right. So that's been the bulk of our musical direction. We have got a couple of like little sets up our sleeves for the home crowd.
Yeah.
We all know the rich history in pipe bands over there, and personally, my dad is from Belfast, and I've got a lot of family in Belfast, and so it's a really special place for me personally. I've always wanted to take the band and do a concert there, and enjoy the crowd. But I know the crowd is very, very particular too. So it's a real challenge. It's a real challenge to be, what I feel, in the way we've approached this concert is that we want to keep our fun element and keep a flavour so that our brand is still being put out there. And what we want to do is elevate our game and make sure that we are absolutely honed in and nice and tight for this concert. So so that the home crowd, get what they want, which is a really good grade 1 pipe band. So that's the real plan. That's what we've approached, and obviously we've got a few wee tricks up our sleeve, of course. Won't give away too much, will we?
No, just play the cards close to the chest for now. Don't reveal too much. But if folks do want to go and see the action, absolutely talk to Gary. Grab your tickets. This is such a worthy charity, and that's one of the things I kind of wanted to put across on this week's show, that this is absolutely a charity event. Whenever you land there, you're raising money for such a worthy charity. So to see that the band is supporting this cause, it's just fantastic. Was that even a consideration when you guys were getting lined up for the concert? Was the charity a consideration whenever you were picking this?
I think it absolutely is, yeah. And we've spoke about within the band initiatives on how we can help support, raise money, along with just playing. But we're trying to do what we can behind the scenes to raise more money as well. So hopefully we also go over with a wee bit of money to add to the pot as well. So the charity element was absolutely a large part of our decision. Sure.
There you go. So, Mick, I need to talk about this past season. I think you guys in the band in 2025 had quite a stellar year. Now, we spoke at the start of the year, looking forward to the season, and how you were kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to be excited or nervous or what you were going to feel. But at the end of the season in 2025, how were things in the camp then, do you think? Were you happy overall with how things went?
I think we achieved most of our goals, I would say. David and I are very much performance-based, so obviously you can't make other people like the music that you play. So if we come off with the performance and then analyse it thereafter and we're happy with it, then we're going to be satisfied. I think overall, obviously the band notching up in the Worlds, 5th place. That's the highest the band's done at the Worlds. And for the drummers to get a first in the March to Spain reel on the Saturday was at the World Championships. It's something quite special to be getting number ones in those columns against. You consider the caliber of the bands that we're playing against. That it's absolute. You use the word stellar. Well, yeah, absolutely, they are stellar bands. So if we're getting those sort of results, even from one or two adjudicators, the band has moved to a different level from what it was before. And I think it would be fair to say that the band has moved into the realms of really being competitive. I thought we were absolutely superb at the Scottish Championships, if I'm honest. I thought the band was first class. And on any given day, the result could have been a little bit different for us on that day, I felt. But like I say, the competition is so fierce. So the fact that we are in the mix says everything about how much the band has progressed. As I said to you, I came in 2008 and band at that point, the band had never been in the prize list in Grade 1. So for it to be where it is now, where it's actually in the prize list at the Worlds and has been consistently over the last sort of 5 or 6 Worlds is pretty special, to be honest. Because we all know how difficult the World Championship is over the 4 performances now. And it would be fair to say that we were delighted with the season, David. Is that not true?
Yeah, absolutely. We set out our goals at the start of the year, and sometimes goals are 2-year goals. So we did have a couple of 2-year goals that we knocked out this last year too. I think we were always realistic. We always know, what we're up against personally as Fife Police. There's factors that might make it more difficult, or for people to get a good listen to us and make their mind up. There's no history of, like Mick said, there's no history of the band winning majors and having major titles, world championships behind our name. So for us to make people listen, to get people to listen to us, we have to really make them listen. So that was the goal. That's always been the goal. We definitely want to make sure that when we perform that we make that happen. And it was a shorter season. There was only 3 majors. Would have loved a couple more. Just that, for us especially, I feel a couple more would have been stellar for us. But that's not to be. But we've got 5 this year, so we'll keep working towards our goals. And it's got to be making sure that we are right up there with in people's minds with considering for the prizes. So. There you go. As will another good handful of bands too. So we know what we're up against.
Oh, that's it. There is many in that fight, absolutely. But I think, Fife, you're quite right in talking about building that legacy, and from those early days in 2007 and that, and then bringing it forward to where we are now, 2026. I can't wait to hear what you're going to bring musically. It's going to be so exciting. So whether we're going to get a sneaky peek of the new medley or not, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. That's maybe an idea. Maybe even half a medley or something, for us fans. Anyway, I'm just going to suggest it and walk away and say nothing. So
we're not going to say anything either, Rab.
No. But honestly, folks, people are so excited to see you guys in Cookstown, and we've been playing your music flat out on Fuse FM this last while. It's been requested all the time. So, best wishes, and we'll see you all in Cookstown. Thank you all so much for chatting with me on the pod this week. Thank you.
No problem. Looking forward to it.
Thanks. All the best. We'll see you soon.
There you are. And a huge shout out to Mick, to David, to Gary for joining us on the show this week. And March 20th cannot come quick enough. This event is going to be one of the biggest Kids with Cancer nights in recent memory. And I'm trying not to oversell it, but there's one point that we didn't get into in that conversation that was kind of announced after we recorded that interview. Yeah. We've been talking about this on Fuse this last 2 weeks now, and the excitement and buzz around it is palpable. Yeah, in case you haven't seen or heard of it, well, the pipes and drums of the Royal Ulster Constabulary will be reforming for a one-off performance at the Kids with Cancer night. Yeah. That same RUC pipe band from those early 2000 heyday. Oh my word, I can't wait for this. This is going to be such a special moment. So everything that we've just spoke about, plus the RUC pipe band, are making a one-off return. I think this is, honestly, I think it's about 20 years plus since the band has been together thumping out tunes. And you talk about a golden opportunity. Lightning doesn't strike twice, so I've said that on the show here before and regretted it, but this is such a huge moment for fans of the RUC pipe band, and I know there's a lot of you listening right now. Yeah, this is going to be huge. So I know, folks, that this week's topic of the week sounds like a massive advertisement, and it is. It's a very worthy cause, and this night in Cookstown will be one of the biggest yet, arguably. Yeah. So 28th of March in the Royal Hotel in Cookstown. We hope to see you there. Of course, ourselves and the Big Rab Show will be there, of course. We'll be running about with a microphone annoying everybody. And also we hope to be filming little video clips from throughout the night as well. So, yeah. Hope that answers questions. A lot of people have been asking whether there will be a live stream and everything from the event. As for live, no, I don't believe there will be anything live presented from it. So if you do want to see it as it happens, you need to be there at the event. Yeah, but I'm sure afterwards there'll be plenty of little video clips and recordings of the performances on the night. So we'll have that across all of our socials and on YouTube for everyone living internationally now who can't make the journey to Cookstown. There you are. So, folks, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Another topic of the week is in the can, and it's a week of sort of highs and lows, isn't it? Yeah, quite terrible news for Grade 2 fans, but some really exciting news for charity fans, I guess, with the Kids with Cancer night fast approaching. There you go. All right, folks, that's it. I'm out the door. Thank you all for downloading this week and each and every week. And here, don't forget to tell your mates about our wee show. We have seen a recent bump in numbers and download figures, so hello to all of those new listeners. I did have a bit of a speech written here to all of our new listeners, blah, blah, blah. But I think suffice to say, yeah, we're the show for the piping folk. And if you've lasted this long in the pod, I'm sure you'll realise that by now. But yeah, thank you to all of our new listeners for checking us out. So yeah, keep telling your mates about our wee show, about what we're at. Yeah. All right, folks, I'm out the door, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until next week, all the best.
Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for downloading this week, and a special thank you to our sponsor, G1 Reeds. Played by bands around the world, they are the champion's choice. Check out g1reeds.com for all of your piping needs. Don't forget to check out thebigrabshow.com to be kept up to date with all of the latest news and views from around the piping world. And also, check us out on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get your hands on tons of extra piping goodness and be a part of the Patreon faithful. So, until next week, folks, we'll see you right here on the Big Rab Show podcast. All the best.